The Thing That Woke Me Up, Part 8, The Bloodline. By the time I turned 19, I had stopped trying to explain the dreams. People always tell you nightmares aren't real. They tell you there's stress, anxiety, bad memories finding strange ways to crawl back into your head. But nightmares don't leave evidence behind, and mine always did. Every dream ended the same way, every single one, no matter where I was, no matter how old I got. No matter what happened inside the dream, somewhere, somehow, there would always be a clock, and every clock would always read 3:17 a.m. Then I would wake up, except I never woke up on my own. Something always woke me first. My dad, my mom, my little brother, a phone call, a storm, a dog barking outside. Something always interrupted it before the figure could reach me, before it could touch me. Before those hollow eyes got close enough, and Granddad's warning never left my head. Don't let it touch you. I still didn't know why. I didn't know what would happen if it did, but I remembered the look on his face when he said it. My grandfather was the toughest man I'd ever known, and in that dream, he had looked terrified. Months passed without another dream. At first I thought maybe it was over. Maybe whatever had followed me all these years had finally given up. Maybe Granddad had somehow protected me. Maybe I was finally free. Then, one night, I fell asleep on the couch. I wasn't even trying to sleep. The television was still on. Some late-night movie played in the background while I stared at the screen, half awake. I remember blinking once. Then suddenly the TV was off. The room was dark. Not normal darkness, not the kind you get when the lights are out. This darkness felt alive, heavy, suffocating, wrong. The instant I sat up, I knew I was dreaming again. The house felt different, empty. The silence pressed against my ears so hard it almost hurt. I stood slowly and looked toward the hallway. Nothing, just blackness stretching farther than it should have. Then I heard footsteps, slow, heavy, deliberate, coming from the kitchen. Each step sounded like a hammer hitting the floor. My body froze. The footsteps stopped. For several seconds there was nothing but silence. Then a voice whispered directly behind me, "Don't turn around." I nearly jumped out of my skin. I knew that voice immediately. "Granddad? Don't turn around." His voice sounded distant, like it was coming through water. "Why?" "Because it knows you're here." The footsteps started again, closer this time. I could hear something breathing between them, slow, wet, curious, like an animal following a scent. My entire body trembled. "Granddad, run." The second he said it, every light in the house exploded on at once. The entire house lit up in blinding white light. Every lamp, every room, every hallway. And standing at the far end of the hall was the figure. It was taller than I'd ever seen it. Its head nearly touched the ceiling. Those impossible hollow eyes stared directly into mine. Then something happened that chilled me more than anything before. It smiled. I couldn't see a mouth. It barely had a face. But somehow I knew. I knew with absolute certainty that it was smiling, because it finally knew something I didn't. Then it started running. I turned and sprinted. The hallway stretched endlessly ahead of me. Doors appeared where no doors should have been. Rooms twisted and folded into each other. The house became a maze. Behind me I heard the figure charging after me, faster than it had ever moved before. I burst through the front door and stumbled into the woods. The same woods. The woods from the first dream. The woods where this nightmare had begun. Fog drifted through the trees. The moon hung low overhead. Every tree trunk around me had symbols carved into the bark. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands. A circle with two black eyes inside it. Some carvings looked ancient, others looked fresh. Then I noticed names carved beneath them. Hundreds of names, thousands, some faded by time, some deep and recent. My stomach dropped when I found my own name carved into one of the trees. Fresh, deep, waiting. Fear flooded through me. The figure wasn't chasing me anymore. It didn't need to. Because suddenly I realized what I was looking at. These weren't victims. These were survivors. These were people who had escaped, people who had woken up before it reached them. Then I saw another name, my grandfather's. Beneath it was a date. I stared at it in disbelief. No. Granddad knew. He'd known the entire time. Then I found my father's name, another date, another encounter. I kept looking, More names, more family members, uncles, cousins, relatives I'd never even met. Generation after generation. The figure wasn't following me, it was following my family. Something had been hunting my bloodline for decades. The fog thickened around me. The trees began to groan. Black liquid started pouring from every carved name, running down the bark like blood. The forest floor pulsed beneath my feet. A heartbeat echoed through the woods. Thump, thump, thump. Then the whispers began. At first there were only a few, then hundreds, then thousands. Wake up, wake up, wake up. The voices came from everywhere. The trees, the fog, the ground itself. I spun in circles, desperately searching for the source. Then I saw him, Granddad, standing among the trees, exactly as I remembered him. I ran toward him. Granddad! His eyes widened in horror. No. I stopped. What? His arm shot up and he pointed behind me. A cold wave rolled through my body. I already knew what I'd see. Slowly I turned. The figure stood less than 10 feet away, closer than it had ever been, closer than Granddad had ever allowed, closer than anything had ever allowed. Its hollow eyes locked onto mine. Something moved inside them, twisting, shifting, crawling through the darkness. Granddad screamed, "Wake up!" The figure lunged, its hand wrapped around my wrist. For the first time in my life, it touched me. Agony exploded through my entire body. Every nerve felt like it was on fire. The world shattered. The woods vanished. The dream vanished. Reality vanished. Suddenly I was somewhere else entirely. A place between waking and sleeping. An endless void filled with doors. Millions of doors, stretching forever in every direction, and behind every door I could hear screaming. Not one voice. Thousands, maybe millions. Then one of the doors slowly creaked open. Something stepped out, something so massive and wrong that the figure itself recoiled. For the first time ever, the thing with the hollow eyes looked afraid. The creature emerging from the doorway slowly turned toward me, and when it spoke in my grandfather's voice. It finally found you. The void collapsed. Everything went black. Then I woke up, or at least I thought I did, because I was back in my bedroom. Back in my bed, back in reality. The room was dark except for a faint glow coming through the window. I sat up, breathing hard, trying to convince myself it was over, trying to convince myself I was finally awake. Then I noticed someone sitting at the foot of my bed, a man, a complete stranger, motionless, watching me. My heart nearly stopped. The man was holding a photograph. His eyes never left mine as he slowly lifted it. The picture showed me sleeping in that very bed, taken only moments earlier. The stranger smiled, then quietly said, "You're not supposed to be awake yet."